With a guy like Ketel Marte, even if he's won for his last 20, whatever it was, Dodgers lose 3-2. Let's hear from Dave Roberts with Kirsten and the media.
Dave, when you obviously that very scary collision with Max Muncy and Vargas, first, how was Max doing? And just, I guess, what was your kind of just immediate reaction to that moment and making sure that he was okay?
That was probably the main thing, is just trying to make sure he was okay. And it was pretty violent. And I think that, from the testing that we did, sore nose, hit his nose. There was some blood on his nose. Said he had some clarity once he got up, got into the clubhouse. He'll be down tomorrow, which we intended anyway, but I think that he'll be available over the weekend. So I think we dodged one there.
Did you have to do any concussion testing? And with that, I mean, is that where you feel like things are very much in the clear for him?
I think that's what the training staff did. They kind of went through the concussion protocol and then kind of just treated him up. But, Max seems pretty with it right now.
Tanner's been pretty good for you. The last week or so, it seems like he's just, obviously blew a couple of saves. So what do you see from him?
I don't know. I think the stuff is good. He pitched the other night, and I thought it was really good. And tonight, Ketel is just really good versus left-handed pitching, and I think he challenged fastball down and in, and he doesn't miss too many of those. But I don't know if there's one thing right now. It's just one of those. He's been good for us all year, and right now 2 of the last 3 just hasn't been, hasn't had the results that we had hoped.
You saw Ohtani moving around in the dugout. Was he a decoy or was he available?
He was available. It's just kind of, it has to be the right spot in the sense of, after we lost Muntz, you defense for Ward in a tight ball game, and then you're kind of getting short, and so you got to make sure that I didn't want to go 2 innings trying to figure out how to play defense with Shohei then being out of the game, and he's not going to play defense. So he was going to hit in the 10th inning for that 3rd hitter for Rojas, but and we were going to try to piece it together after that.
Why would it have been more worthwhile to you in the 10th and potentially onward versus in the 9th to do Shohei and then worry about the defensive alignment?
Well, the 9th we had, I really, I think the 9th, it's just, we had, I'm trying to think about the inning. Well, we had Will Smith. I think Will Smith hit a double, and then we could have hit Shohei right there. But then they walk him. You have call up. But right there, again, you still got to go to the 9th inning with kind of trying to figure out where guys are going to be. Really, we had no one left on the bench. So I think for me, it was more of once we get into extra innings, then I would kind of fire that bullet. I wanted to stay away from all game. It's harder on the road when you have to play defense if you don't score.
Sick mistake, it looks like they wanted this fastball away, and that's what you're looking for. If he's going to beat you with a home run, you want him to go the opposite way, but that ball just leaked down inside where he is looking, he's hunting, he's trying to end this game with one swing, and Marte did.
I said it, 5 seconds before this pitch, do not go in on him. He has one thing on his mind, backseating a ball and walking him off. He was going to sell out at least 2 swings to try to end the ball game. Really only took 1, and that's why you hit your spots. Listen, Tanner Scott's been outstanding. This is his 2nd pickup, obviously, this season, but he has been outstanding. But Marte's a special player, man. You got to be able to hit your spots. When we talk about using that top hand, creating backspin, look at that Marte swing. Yeah. I mean, that's an old-school swing, and top hand, creating backspin, walks off the Dodgers. Listen, split, if you're going to split, it's on the road.
Yep.
Okay? We always say good teams split on the road. Dodgers split. You get a chance to come back home. I know it's not going to be a super happy flight. Come back home, press the reset button, and play great at home. But without question, this is a little bit of a gut punch.
It won't be happy, but it'll be quick, so that's good. So then just reset and go out there and get ready for the next series.
All right, Dodgers drop the series finale in Arizona 3-2. Let's head back to the booth and check in one final time with Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser.
Well, the Dodgers got a great start tonight from Justin Wrobleski. They led 2-0, but the bullpen gives it up and a walk-off home run from Marte.
Yeah, they played really good detailed baseball early in the first half of this game. Looked like they should have been even farther apart, but they only got 3 guys. 3 times they had runner in scoring position. They got 1 hit. So other than that, with the gifts from the Diamondbacks, that was the way the Dodgers got their 2 runs.
At home to take on the Angels. Handled the Angels when they faced off with them a month ago, and will try to get back on track this weekend.
Yeah, you know, they're starting to play better at home. They've been getting a lot of runs on the road, not in this game, but you know what? Better at home, and you know what? They're on top. They've got a big lead in the National League West. Beat the people you're supposed to beat.
All right, first game of the series, 7:10 tomorrow night.
Here's what's ahead on the Dodgers calendar. It's a quick trip back home this weekend. They're going to host the Freeway Series and the Angels beginning tomorrow night on Pride Night. And then Saturday is Tyler Glasnow bobblehead night. Dodgers are off Monday. They'll head back east to Pittsburgh to take on Paul Skeens and the Pirates. That series starting on Tuesday. All game violent collision at first base. And right now, Muncy is speaking with Kirsten and the media.
Max, well, Dave told us that you're feeling better and hopefully should be back out there in a few days. But just can you describe that moment? And obviously, it was scary seeing it from our viewpoint, but can you describe what it was like for you?
Yeah, you know, ground ball to the right side. I saw the pitcher didn't get off the mound, and I saw he fielded it kind of running backwards. So busting it hard out of the box, and as I'm running down the line, I saw him in foul territory. So I got to the inside of the bag, and I thought he was going to stay, you know, on that side, and it felt like neither of us knew which direction we were going to go, and then we both went the wrong direction, and yeah, bang. You know, I really hope you know, Vargas is okay. I sent something over to him, you know, hoping he's doing all right and he's not too bad. But it just yeah, bad situation that looked like neither of us knew which direction to go.
How are you feeling right now?
We'll be all right. A little banged up, but we'll be all right.
Is it the nose? Is it the jaw? Is it the chest? Did you pass concussion protocols?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, the head got banged up a little bit. I think it was my glasses maybe that cut my nose. Not entirely sure. And then just as I was on the ground, just had a shortness of breath. And, you know, once I was able to kind of get my breath back, then I was able to get off the field. But, yeah, we're doing okay right now.
When you look at the replay, is there something that you wish you could have done as far as if you're off into foul territory or?
Yeah, I mean, looking back at it now, like after seeing it, yeah, I wish I would have just stayed on, you know, on the right side of the bag and he would have came across. And, you know, hopefully nothing would have happened then. But, again, just like as I was running down the line, like I said, I saw him in foul territory. And so I thought he would stay on that side. And obviously I was wrong. And then, you know, when I looked at the replay, it looked like we both kind of did the same thing where we both jumped to almost, you know, de-weight ourselves and avoid it. Unfortunately, we did not avoid it. And so, again, most importantly, though, like I said, I hope he's doing okay. I definitely did not mean to run into him. It just happened, and hopefully he's doing all right.
But you had crossed the bag already, right? You had crossed first base already.
It was as I stepped on the bag, I kind of jumped up to de-weight myself and hopefully not make it as bad of a collision, but it looked like he did the same thing, and we ended up just colliding in air.
After losing the series, right here on Sportsnet LA.
Faster probably than anybody else on that team as well while he's on the bases. Just really impressed, and he continues to impress us with how he does it. This time he was a little bit better on the mound when it comes to control. Last time he had pitched shutout innings, but was disappointed with the walk rate, not being able to have some of his pitches yesterday. And we also heard it, I think, on audio as well, throwing out some profanities, showing a little bit of that grit on the mound. This time, a lot better all around, and throwing the pitches with conviction and keeping guys off balance. So it's not just the 97 to 100 mile per hour fastball. It has to do with the off-speed stuff, and the way he combines it and throws them with conviction really did help yesterday. And keeping those D-backs off balance worked.
Yeah, 89 total pitches for him in the game yesterday for Ohtani, and they didn't get a hit until the fourth inning, Gabriel Moreno. And, you know, the idea that, okay, so they're on the road, right? This is in Arizona, and which means that he's batting and then is on base and then has to come in and get ready to go out and pitch. after that, and nothing seems to faze him. I know that every time we think to ourselves we shouldn't be amazed because he's great at everything, and yet it's still amazing what he does to reach base 5 times and the energy level it takes to be able to do that. Right, to be pitching and exerting all of that energy and reaching base 5 times. And, oh, by the way, you're going to be in the lineup today. Now, they have found out that maybe the rest day is better the day after the start than the day of or the day before the start. So something to keep an eye on as to how they're going to manage him there. And it's a Diamondbacks team that has been playing some better baseball.
They have. They've been playing better baseball. But before we even go towards the Diamondback side, we cannot ignore also that Kyle Tucker yesterday went 3 for 5 in the game. And got to keep an eye on him now because Kyle Tucker, who had not hit a home run since May 4th, yesterday goes deep. And I think this is the time now that Kyle Tucker's starting to feel comfortable. We're in June. And if he starts getting hot, the LA Dodgers, who just got to their 40th game, for their 40th W yesterday, 20 wins at home, 20 on the road. They're an equal source providing team. I think this is where they start getting going. They lengthen that lineup, not just with the fear of what they can do or they may do, but with the fear of what they will do. And Kyle Tucker is going to play a massive role in the success of this team through the summer now.
He is, but I got to tell you, how much per year is he getting? $60 million a year, right? For 4 years. Steve. Yeah, I mean, it's an absurd contract, and he's certainly not playing up to that contract in any way, and he's honestly not even living up to half that contract. Anyway, I know it's monopoly money, and it doesn't really matter, but. I mean, he's hitting 243 with a 740, 739 OPS.
That's why I did not want to go, and I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about him.
Yeah.
And that's why I think he's going to turn it on. And I think Kyle Tucker was signed with the intentions of we're going to get to the postseason, we're going to have the deepest lineup, and we're going to have a lineup that can beat elite pitching. And in order to go into the postseason and deep into the postseason, you need hitters that can hit those 1s and 2s consistently. And Kyle Tucker can do that. It's an adjustment period. You're playing in the West Coast for the first time. Yes, you've been in the Western Division, but you're playing in the West Coast. The travel's different than it was in Houston and Chicago. I think this is the time for Kyle Tucker now to say, okay, let me show you guys what I can do. And the value of the 60 per year is to be valued in October, not in April or May.
Yeah. That contract still is baffling to me. And even the Bo Bichette deal at $43 million a year is just like, I didn't get it. I understand there's short-term deals and you pay a premium for the shorter-term deal, but how much of a premium are you paying for it? And did you really need it? Is I think the other question. By the way, Buster Olney from ESPN does a great job. Put a few things out on X, just some updates on things and some news and notes around the game. Tigers are telling other teams as of now they're not selling. The sweep of the Rays will fuel their hope of climbing back into the American League race. He also tweeted out the Red Sox are signaling to other teams that not only are they looking to add a right-handed bat, but they're also willing to spend money to do it. Do they think they're in it in Boston?
Huh?
And how much of a big bat are you going to find this time of year, right? Generally, that guy's not available right now. But we'll keep an eye on that. And then also Buster sharing that right now there's very little relief help available. Cubs looking for bullpen additions. Say even the worst teams won't talk about bullpen swaps just yet. I think for some of the teams that aren't winning, they still want to sell tickets. And so they'd rather hold on to some of their better players for a little while just to be able to try to maximize whatever revenues they can, even if they're not playing great so far in the season. So any of those notes surprise you in any way about what they might be looking to do?
I'm sorry, but I can't. I didn't even hear the third one that Buster put out there because I'm still thinking about the Red Sox thinking that they're in this thing, in that division. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they think that they can. And then what bat is out there? While you were speaking, trying to, give the third point that Buster put out there, I was just trying to wonder, okay, what big bat would be out there that could improve, and how much would you have to give up, let's say, for Yordan Alvarez? I'm just throwing a name out there that, by the way, had 4 hits yesterday in the game. Great comeback by the Astros. But what's out there, man?
Yeah, so Taylor Ward might be a name, free agent at the end of the year.
But he hasn't hit for
Not for power yet, but he has hit.
And he did it one time, really.
Would the Nationals trade C.J. Abrams?
Well, he leads their team and runs batted in.
Right.
Would they trade C.J. Abrams? And metrically, defensively, historically, he's not done great. And
he's a second baseman for me.
That's the thing, because we have to identify the teams that value defense. But then again, you look at, I'm going to go out there to San Francisco and say Luis Arraez metrically, defensively has been terrible his entire career as far as the metrics say. And this year he's extraordinary.
Yeah.
Right. So,
which makes me doubt defensive metrics. You know what I mean? Like, I just, a guy can't go from being the worst to the best in a year when he's played 8 years in the big leagues and all of a sudden now he's the best. It just doesn't add up to me. How about Byron Buxton as a right-handed bat out there and available? Jeremy Pena, shortstop out there. But now, they're still holding on to hope. Reese Hoskins with the Guardians could be a guy that could be a right-handed bat out there. And home run yesterday, right? And then you start thinking about, some of these other teams that maybe they would look to unload somebody. With the Rangers, I mean, Jock Peterson was so bad last year, and he's been a little better this year. Would there be a consideration? So the Dodgers getting C.J. Abrams to play second base.
I think the player would say yes just because it's Dodgers, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, he doesn't have a no trade or anything like that.
Right.
But I don't think it would be an issue for a C.J. Abrams, or would it even be an issue for Mookie to go to second and go back to his original spot and say C.J. go to short, even though the metrics for Mookie last year were pretty decent. But is it a lot easier for him to transition to do that than C.J. at this time of year? I think that all those things you have to take into account.
Yeah. Jeff Passan speculating too, like, what about a Freddie Peralta? If the Mets are out of it, Peralta free at the end of the year, he'd be a guy that he won yesterday over the Mariners. And so he's a guy that you'd keep an eye on that might be a factor in a number of different places. And we obviously know Skubal, if he becomes available. Can you imagine Skubal, Wheeler, and Christopher Sanchez in a rotation? Like, that would be filthy.
That would be a Dombrowski move right there.
It would 100%. Now the issue for them is their top prospect, Aiden Miller, is undergoing surgery on his back in Philadelphia, and so you'd likely have to give him up in a deal like that. And I think his value now with that back issue has been cut back a little bit. All right, the Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the Astros yesterday. It was, again, set up Spencer Arrighetti against Paul Skeens, Yordan Alvarez against Paul Skeens. Like, this looked like it was going to be a very interesting matchup. We'll tell you how it turned out.